In Clank, you're adventurers going into a dungeon to try and steal as much loot as possible from a dragon and get out in time before it kills you. Clank is a deck building game, which is a type of game where you have a deck of cards and each turn you're using those cards to buy more cards to go into your deck to make it better. So as the game goes on, your deck gets stronger and stronger. In some deck building games, that's all you're doing. In Clank, you're using your cards to move through the dungeon and kill monsters. For example, if I play 3 cards with this foot symbol, I can move 3 spaces. But because you only draw 5 of your cards each turn, you won't always get to do what you want. That limitation makes this game. You might be right by the exit, desperate to race out of the dungeon to avoid the dragon, but if your cards don't have movement on them, you're stuck. It adds a fun layer of desperation that I've not found with other deck building games, and I love the feeling that it's your own decisions coming back to haunt you. The reason no movement cards came up is because you chose to fill your deck with loads of other special cards. At its heart, Clank is a game of risk-taking. You win by stealing the most loot, which means you'll be rewarded for staying in the dungeon as long as possible, grabbing everything those other cowards left behind. But the longer you stay in, the more chance you'll be attacked by the dragon. As you roam the dungeon, you're making noise, or clank. This gets added to a bag, and when the dragon attacks, cubes are pulled out. If your colour comes out, you take a wound. The more noise you make, the more likely you'll be attacked. This is one of Clank's best bits, as everyone dreads the next dragon attack and desperately hopes their cubes won't be drawn. Again, it's about pushing your luck. You could make loads of noise and get away with it, or get your comeuppance. It means that Clank always ends with a tight cinematic finish. Blue draws the right cards and escapes just before the dragon attacks, and red gets eaten 2 spaces from the exit. Death isn't the end, because if you die in the upper part of the dungeon, the villagers will rescue you and reanimate your corpse. But you won't get the 20-point bonus for getting out alive, which can be crucial. If you die in the dungeon's depths, you're officially dead and can't win. I love this aspect. Every time I've played, I've been so close to escaping, but never made it out. The difference is 20 points, but it's the thematic context that brings it alive. Clank has a much richer narrative than your average points fest. I didn't lose by 20 points, I couldn't get out of the dungeon in time. The dungeon is a maze of options, and you have to decide whether to take the long route towards the fancier artifact, or settle for something cheap and cheerful nearer the exit. What your deck presents you will shape your decisions, and there's a selection of tools, spells and companions you can recruit to your deck, which will give you special powers and make your adventuring a lot different from the others. You might decide to recruit warriors to kill monsters and gain their rewards, using the money to buy treasure at the market. Or you could get the ability to teleport, which allows you to move through locked doors and get to the really good stuff. But good luck getting that teleport card to come out the deck when you need it. The dungeon is full of complications. There's crystal caves which force you to stop moving for that turn, paths with monsters which you'll need to fight or you'll take wounds, and those locked doors which you can buy a master key to overcome if you can afford it. I love that in every game I want to try something different, thinking that I've finally got the dungeon cracked. From the cards that are available to buy to the secret tokens you pick up that give you healing potions or boots of swiftness. It feels different each time, and to add to that replayability, they've thrown in another dungeon on the other side of the board. I was destined to not like Clank. It uses my least favourite theme, generic fantasy, about which a great philosopher once said, "The board game industry treats fantasy the way a 6-year-old treats ketchup. They stick it on everything."
I love ketchup.
There's no twist on that theme. It's adventurers and dungeons and goblins and orcs and and who cares? Then it's a deck builder. I don't hate deck building games, but I generally find them to be a little dull. It's usually just building and building and it ends and you count up points. There's no tension or exciting moments. There's no thematic reasoning to what you're doing. And yet, I love Clank. I can get into the theme because it delivers it so well. I do feel like I'm exploring a dungeon, trying to steal as much as I can and get out in time. Sure, I'd rather the game was about Simpsons characters trying to break into Mr. Burns' mansion, or agents of fortune trying to rescue an alien from Area 51, or a tiny Dennis Quaid sent into Martin Short's stomach in a reworking of the 1987 film Inner Space. But fine, they slathered it in fantasy ketchup. I can swallow it, it's tasty ketchup. They've used sun-dried tomatoes to get a real depth of flavour. And building my deck isn't the focus of the game, it's merely a tool to make the story of the game tense and exciting. It's put deck building in a completely new light for me. For me, the artwork and graphic design are only just on the safe side of acceptable. It's fine, but a game this good deserves top-notch modern art, Days of Wonder standard. The cards and the board aren't bringing the game alive in the way that I'd like from what could otherwise be a great game to usher people into board gaming. And the tokens are a bare minimum thickness. None of it's terrible, but it's enough for me to mention, which I wouldn't normally do. I love that when you play Clank, you really feel your adventurer's dilemma. Do you go greedy or go home? The Clank system is elegant and always exciting, and it takes the deck building format and does something completely new and very cool with it. It's a definite keeper for me. I highly recommend Clank. If you'd like to buy Clank, you can help support Actualol by using the link in the description below. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. And if you want to hear about the games I've been playing, follow Actualol on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. I'm Jon Purkis, thanks for watching.